question. Moving on to our topic of the week. We are going to play Commissioner for the Day. And what this entails is we're going to be the commissioner of each of the major sports leagues and also a wild card. So it's any other sport that we haven't seen yet or talked about. So the sports that we are going to be being the commissioners of: Major League Baseball, the NFL, NBA, NCAA football, NCAA basketball, and like I said, then a wild card. So that could be soccer, it could be golf, it could be women's volleyball. I mean, who knows, whatever you guys want. But you have you are the commissioner for that league, and you get, we don't want President Trump to have all the fun signing executive orders. So we're going to be commissioners, and we're going to sign an executive order for ourselves and put a rule in place or take a rule away. It doesn't really matter, but we're just going to go around the horn here and find out what we have. And those of you that are listening, if you can come up with one better, let us know. Like I said, on all of our socials, look for CincySportScn and comment on it. All right. Who wants to go first?
I mean, I can go.
All right. Carly, where are we going?
Well, first off, most of these, a lot of them, I have two things.
Yeah,
I
do too.
Do I just need to pick one, and then we come back around and say?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
If there's anything else, we can
Yeah.
do that after we go through them all.
Okay.
I put down two just because I figured we probably have
a lot of so let's start with MLB.
All right. Major League Baseball.
Yeah. So to deal with all the injuries, especially the pitching injuries that happen every year, and I mean, this would help the Reds a lot because, we're like hoping a prayer that all our top line guys can, get the 30 starts, whatever. To help that out, I'm reducing the season to 120 games. So I'm lopping off 40 games. So we don't need 40 more starts. So we don't need 30 starts from guys. If they get whatever it would be 20. I didn't do the math, but 24 starts or 5 starts. For the 5 starters, they don't have to. So I'm hoping that those guys can get through a season now, be more likely to get through the season with less injuries. And across the board, it would help because of all the pitching injuries. And that's not going to change because these guys are, throwing 100 miles an hour. And, you just compare the injuries to old school. And, we're not having guys starting 35. Nobody's starting 35 games anymore, pitching even 200 innings and all that stuff. Complete games are a joke now and stuff. So I thought maybe reduce 100 to 120 games would help in that area. So that's my thing.
Okay.
Plus, we don't need 162 games. Whatever, that's way too long. No one pays attention to baseball for 162 games anymore. So,
all right.
Like the COVID season was great in a way. So,
well, I like the strike season in the NBA when they only played 50 games.
Right.
And every game was meaningful. Right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, 60 games, whatever that was in the COVID season, the same thing. Like, so
right.
There you go. That's mine.
Sam, what's yours?
Mine would be to implement the robot umps behind the plate just right away. Let's get balls and strikes right every single time.
Okay. Nice. What I would do is I would have a payroll floor and a payroll cap. Just people have to spend their damn money. Your fans are coming. You're getting, revenue sharing. You need to spend it on your team, your stadium, those type of things to make the fans experience enjoyable. And, like with us, we're frustrated at the Reds because they're not spending their money, even though they say they put everything back into the ball club. Baloney. They don't. The A's is a perfect example. Pittsburgh's another one. So I think everybody has to be, I don't know what the floor would be, 100 million, 120 million. The cap, 200 million. Just make it so that everybody has a say and a chance and hope and a prayer, right? So there we go. All right, Sam, where do you want to go next?
We will go. Let's go NCAA football.
All right.
So, I am going to officially separate football from the rest of the NCAA. Still be the NCAA, but it's going to be its own thing. Their conferences are going to be separate, so we don't have Stanford basketball playing Duke basketball on a Tuesday. All right, that's completely separate. College basketball, lacrosse, baseball, volleyball, field hockey, all those other sports are more traditional regional conferences, and we're going to go football as its own thing. You can keep it how conferences are right now. We don't have to worry about realignment yet or whatever, but we're going to officially separate out college football.
All right. So for college football, for me, now this is tough because there's two of them that I have, and they're both, I think, pretty good. But I think to go piggyback off of yours, I think when that happens, or if it happens, Sam, I think they will also split the playoffs. They'll have a G5 playoff, and the Power 4 playoff, and then everybody else playoff. They'll have two separate playoffs. That's where I'm
three
going
separate
with
playoffs because they already have two.
Well, yes.
Two inside the FBS.
Yeah, yes. Carly, where are we going? Where are you going now with the football, NCAA football?
Yeah, I like those, especially that, splitting football off into its own entity. Mine's not nearly that good. Mine is all college football games are played on Saturday.
Yes.
No more freaking action on a Tuesday night. It's ridiculous. The 400 people that actually watch that. Ridiculous. Like, I used to have season tickets to Miami football, and as soon as they went to those Tuesday games, I stopped getting them because I'm not going to that game. Right. I'm not driving to Oxford on a Tuesday night and staying there till whatever. Like, so forget it. So that was the number one reason I dropped my season tickets when I did. So yeah. So all college football is meant to be played on a Saturday, not on a Friday night either. That's high school football. And, so from that, I don't care what time, noon or 7:30, whatever, but it's every game is on a Saturday.
I like that. I like that a lot. Bring it back.
Yeah.
All right. So my next one, let's go to, we're going to go to the NBA. And, I've really stopped following the NBA here in the last couple of years, and I just lost interest in it. But I think one of the reasons is this, and I would put in a rule that eliminates load management. So in other words, if you are healthy and you decide to sit out, then a couple of things will happen. Your team gets fined, and the host team has to, or your team has to reimburse the fans that came to watch you play. And I think that would eliminate a lot of this load management BS.
So they don't care. They've tried. They have this games played minimum now for awards. They're trying.
That's for awards, but this is this. But if it hurts the franchise, so if the Los Angeles Lakers have to reimburse 50% of all sales because LeBron James decides, oh, my ankle's a little sore, so I'm going to sit out from a back-to-back, and they've got to pay that, I bet you they're going to put a lot more pressure on LeBron to play in back-to-back games.
Yeah, I still don't think it would. Dudes just don't care. They just straight up don't care. They're making $70 million a year. They don't care.
That's why the NBA has fallen down the drains.
Yeah.
All right, Carly, NBA. Mish.
Well, I'm going for a totally different issue with the NBA that has also caused the NBA, I think, to drop, and that's the 3-point shooting. That is just 3-point shooting. Basically, it's a 3-point shooting contest. And even like your backup center is shooting 3-pointers. So I'm extending the 3-point line. And I don't know what it is, but 25 feet, 26 feet, 29 feet. I don't care what it is. But whatever, I'm extending it to the point where only guys like Steph Curry should be regularly taking 3-pointers. I'm not saying just him, but your true shooters will be can still make them. He can still make them from 25 feet, 26 feet. But the issue is statistically, it's all about statistics. It's all about analytics now. And even the bad 3-point shooters can make 33% from where it is now. And so at that point, you shoot them because that's just as good as a 50, a 2-pointer at 50%. So I'm extending to the point. If I got to do it, if I got to test it year after year to get it to the right number, that's what I'll do. And then that way, the vast majority of shooters will be below 33%. Once I hit that point, then the coaches are going to be like, no, we're not shooting 3-pointers anymore. That's a bad shot. So we're going back to like real basketball. And so whatever that number is going to be based on some analytical data that I gather over a couple years. So that's it.
All right. So
I've got my NBA one here.
Yep, go ahead.
I've got two. I'm trying to narrow it down, see which one I want. I'm going to go with it, and this will actually, I think, help with the 3-point shooting, and it's to get rid of defensive 3 seconds. College doesn't have it. They don't have that issue. So allow your 7-footers to just camp out in the paint and kind of, I actually think that will help with 3-point shooting as well.
Okay. Where we go next, Carly?
What do we got? NFL, I guess.
Yeah, NFL.
Okay.
Basketball and NCAA basketball.
And the wild card. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. We'll go NFL.
Okay.
This one came to me is right away. It's not like some groundbreaking one. But this is by far my number one of probably anything on the list we've talked about. Super Bowl Saturday. No such thing as ridiculous on basically a weeknight, Sunday night for a Super Bowl. Should be Super Bowl Saturday or Monday is a national holiday. Either of those work. I don't care which way you go with it, but one of either of those two.
Well, they are. There is talk.
The President's Day weekend, right?
Yeah, so, right. If it goes 18 games, then they get the double bye.
Well, I don't need to move it to President's Day weekend and just make Super Bowl Saturday. Then you got to worry about it.
That's right. There you go. All right, Sam. NFL.
So mine is get rid of all international games. We don't need those. They're so stupid. I don't give a crap if people across the pond can watch football at, they're 3 p.m. on a Sunday. Like, no, make them stay up. The Champions League isn't coming over here and playing games. Premier League isn't coming over here and playing games. Yeah, they do it in the preseason or whatever, but when it actually matters, they're not coming over here. All right, I got to wake up early if I want to watch those games. People with the messed up teeth, they can do the same thing. Okay, we don't need these international games, especially when they're putting one in Brazil and you've got 2 teams that are green and you literally can't wear green in that city because they will kill you. So, what are we doing here? Roger, it's crazy.
It's all about the money. It's all about money.
We're 5 years away from a Super Bowl being in London, by the way. So this needs to be stopped now.
Yeah. So mine is, I had one similar to yours, Sam, but I'll save that for later. But mine is the NFL is a billion-dollar entity, multi-billion-dollar entity, and we have part-time officials. We need to hire full-time referees, and then they need to be graded every game, and the ones that suck, get them out, fire them, and then they're the playoffs are all merit based, and it's not hey, my crew goes. It is the best referee, the best line judge, the best this, the best that, and then they go in those games, and that might help these so-called scripted games. I don't know if it will or if it won't, but that's what I said. Pay them well and benefits, all that good stuff. Full-time referees. They don't need to be State Farm agents and then trying to go out there and ref a football game on a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. Because they get treated completely different. They get treated like they're volunteers. Like, hey, we're trying our best out here. Like,
right.
No, Yeah,
Right.
make them full-time. I agree.
Make them full-time. All right, Sam. So we've got NCAA basketball or wild card. Where do you want to go?
I guess we'll go NCAA basketball. And I am going to change it up just slightly. It's not too much. And this is piggybacking off of my separating football already. And so that is changing the conferences to more regionalized, like true regionalized conferences. And also every conference has the same number of teams. I don't need a conference with 16 and one with 10. They all have whatever number you want it to be, 12, 10. I don't know. I didn't do any math or anything like that. But they all need to have the same amount of teams and the same format for the conference tournament.
Okay. For basketball, I had this one's a little. I mean, I don't know how. I think when the game is stopped for a review, the players should not be allowed to huddle with the coach. Sometimes you are out of timeouts, especially in the last 2 minutes of the game, and that is a free timeout, especially for the team that is down. Right? Hey, we can huddle up and no. You have to stand on the floor away from your coach, and if the coach wants to shout instructions so the other team can hear, have at it. But I just think that is just no. That's not the intent of the rule, and these coaches are using it as an extra timeout or extra 4 timeouts, and we don't need that.
Okay, my turn. Basketball.
Yep.
I'm going kind of striking at the heart of what's going on, and I could apply this to football as well, college football. The transfer issues, which is just changing football and basketball crazy. UC literally could have a whole new team next year. Xavier has had a whole new team the last 2 years. I mean, literally. So you're allowed one free transfer. So giving them a chance, you get one free transfer. You don't even playing for 4 teams in 4 years. Okay, you should be out the door at that point. Go, be a truck driver or something. Because you're not going to the NBA if you're doing that. So you get one free transfer. But on the flip side, because the argument always is, well, the coaches can leave whenever they want. Blah 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 blah. Not in my rules. Okay, they have a substantial, and I'd come up with a very strong number, 50%, 95%, whatever it would take. If a coach breaks a contract, they owe so much money of that contract back to the school. So they get, like a penalty fee on top of what they're losing out in terms of breaking the contract. So they would have to give up a lot of their money to be able to break a contract. So it's not free for them either.
All right. That's a good one. All right, we're gonna go to the wild card category. So I get that, and I'm going golf for my wild card. And basically, what I want to see is a Ryder Cup style match every year against. I want the PGA versus Live every year. One year it'll be at a PGA venue, another year it'll be at a Live venue, and just back and forth. I just want to see it. And I think that would be really exciting. Might almost rival the regular Ryder Cup. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it'd be interesting to see that.
That'd be fun.
All right, Sam, your wild card.
My wild card, so I cheated a little bit here. My wild card encompasses all sports with an instant replay review. You get 1 minute. If after 1 minute of review, you can't change the call, it's whatever you called on the floor or field, whatever playing surface you're on. You get 1 minute. If you want to make the argument, 90 seconds, fine. But that's the absolute max I'm willing to go. We don't need 5-minute reviews. This is especially college basketball. I watched a Texas A&M game maybe 2 weeks ago, and the final 2.5 minutes took 36 minutes in real time. That's unacceptable. You can't do that. And also, holds these officials accountable. Like, you've got to get the calls right. You can't rely on replay to bail you out, because that's what they're doing. They're making calls they've got no idea, and they're just picking something, and then because they have no idea, they're taking 10 minutes to review it. Now, you better be watching. Watch the ball. Watch the lines. All right, because otherwise you got a minute to get it right. This is for, obviously it's designed for egregious, clear and obvious type stuff. What replay was initially put in for, not to see, oh, this dude's holding the ball, they slapped it out of his hand. Did it hit his pinky on the way out? Like, actually, pretty much every time that happens, yes, it did. But in the first half of the game, you're not reviewing it. So why are you reviewing? You get what I'm saying? You get a minute. That's it.
Yep.
And I'd even venture no slow motion, but that might be a little too far.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. My one was soccer. Not MLS necessarily, but across the board soccer. In extra time, it's golden goal, so sudden death from here on out. No scoring a goal, and then you got to play another 35 minutes, and hope, or what wouldn't be 35, but 25 minutes. And I also hate penalty kicks. Absolutely hate it. Maybe my least. Soccer has my favorite element of it, and it has my least favorite element in terms of the organization. Most favorite, relegation. All sports should have relegation. Maybe I should have used that as my thing, my across the board. But as my least favorite, which is penalty kicks. Baseball doesn't settle the World Series Game 7 with a home run derby. The NBA doesn't settle Game 7 of the finals with the three. I mean, they almost do, because that's all they do is shoot 3-pointers. But officially that's the same thing. That's what penalty kicks is. No other sport has a garbage ending like that to a World Cup. I mean, we're talking the World Cup, the greatest sports tournament in the world, in anything, and it's settled by fake soccer. So to deal with that, no more penalty kicks. And I don't care that guys' legs will fall off. They better be in shape. Guys can run ultra marathons out there, 100 miles. So they got to be in good enough shape to keep playing. Plus, they get 5 subs. Give them one more sub. Give them one more sub. That's half your team. Half your team is out off the field now. So you can sub in. So give them one more sub, whatever. But from then on, it's just extra time after extra time after extra time. 15 minutes, sudden death, golden goal. Boom. We get a winner. Real soccer.
I like it.
All right. Perfect. Okay. So those of you out there, if you like this and you have one that we didn't think of, go ahead and shoot us an email at CSSpodcast@gmail.com and or on our Instagram feeds. But before we go, any other ones that you considered real quick for being a commish of the day?
I did consider, like Crawley said, relegation, like across the board, especially in college football, how I have it separated out. You can go up, you've got a group of 20 teams here, and, essentially you'd be getting rid of the college football playoff, because you could go a group of 16 teams, round robin it, winner is your national champion, loser gets relegated, the winner of that conference comes up, you can do it again next year type thing.
Yeah, I mean, MLB, I was going to say yours, Dave, that you said the salary floor, salary cap. NFL, I had eliminate. Well, you can't completely eliminate it, but highly reduce roughing the passer and defensive pass interference. 2 garbage calls. Those are both a bunch of garbage calls. I'd go back to the old roughing the passer, where the quarterback, you get after the 2 or 3 steps, you take the quarterback's head off. Okay, that's a penalty. But none of these Patrick Mahomes exploit the system, crappy roughing the penalty calls. So I would reduce all those calls. I got NCAA football. I hate that targeting is an automatic ejection. That's stupid. So I put that in. And basically, I'm trying to help the defense here. All these stupid rules, all these rules are just so slanted to the offense. And then they still don't even take advantage of them. You still get 10-7 scores. So you might as well give some help back to the defense, So there you go.
I had a couple that went along with your guys's, for Sam, for football, I was like, go along with the international, get rid of that Thursday night game. Guys don't want to play a Thursday night. I mean, your body's just, it's crappy. And this past year, there was tons of crappy games on Thursday night.
Oh, every year is that. You're right.
Well, yeah, and
every
nobody
year.
wants to watch it on Prime either. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Get rid of these streaming services. Put it on real TV channels.
Yep.
And if you choose to go the YouTube TV route like we did, that's still streaming it, but put it on a real channel.
Right. And then like for football, and this goes with your basketball thing, but I want, you said the equal number of conferences, those type of things. I had equal number of conference games because,
Yeah.
right now the SEC only plays 8, and,
Big Ten's got 9, Big 12's got 9, I think, too, right?
And it's like, we're the toughest conference, so we have to play one less game. Hogwash. And then to go along with yours, Crawley, about basketball with the one-time transfer, I had that, but I also had they get the one try unless the coach is fired. If the coach is fired, then they can leave. If if you came in and then the coach gets fired, you can leave. That was mine. And then the last one for baseball is the World Series needs to end in October, and all games have to start at 7:30 p.m. if it's a night game. If not, get it back to the afternoon when baseball was meant to be played.
You only played 120 games. It'd be easy to end in October.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have to start it in March. You can start it mid-April when the weather's a little warmer.
Yeah,
so you don't have all these.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. There you have it. So next week on our show, we're going to be talking a little bit of the conference tournaments. We'll recap if there's any conference tournaments. If anybody's made the dance by winning their conference championship, well, actually, I think it's just going to be starting conference week. The big boys, anyhow. And then Crawley has a couple of games that he wants to bring out, and we're gonna play that for your entertainment. So hopefully you've got some good games for us here, Crawley, and the fans will
Little rapid fire questions.
Little rapid fire questions type of thing. So until next week, for Charlie and Sam, I am Dave. Thanks for listening, and please hit that like and subscribe button. Until next week, take care, everybody.
See you.
See you later.